Welcome, everybody. Happy long weekend. Happy Labor Day. I was going to say my elbow's sore.
Words. We make up too many songs every day.
There's so many songs going through my head right now. One of the songs we did for our TikTok video came on the radio today, or as we were driving home, and we sang our version instead of that song's version. Yeah, funny how we do that.
That's the one, the non-cleaning one, right?
Yeah.
We want to be resting.
We want to be resting.
We are resting.
We were pulling out our inner Whitney Houston.
Yes. We have fun with those songs, so it's definitely been enjoyable for us.
And it's so funny because actually,
yeah, let you talk through the song.
You do let me talk through the song. I love this.
I'd like an apology.
I apologize.
I'm Nick,
and I'm Jean-Luc, and we're the Wellness Warriors.
And
I was gonna say something there because it's so funny. We talk about our journey so often, and I'm gonna mention that whole F word again. Fun.
Oh, I'll be right back.
Making the journey. Everyone look at. I know Lynn was like, "Oh no, here what?" No, it's the fun part, and that's exactly what it's like. Doing these little fun things for us has made us enjoy this journey even more. It makes us think. It makes us react. It makes us enjoy what we're doing all the time. So never forget to infuse your journey with fun. Keikos is really talking.
He's mad about that close the patio door on him. He's not very happy about it. So he's voicing his discontent to us right now. He talks
Apparently
back.
He's not having much fun right now. That should have been today's word. But today's word of the day is home. You know, making things home.
Yes, we are, Catherine. We are definitely. So on TikTok, I guess we could talk about it now.
Yeah, definitely.
So on TikTok, we are trying to get to 1,000 followers. Yep. So the reason is because on TikTok,
we want to go live on TikTok.
We've told you guys when we come back for weighing in October, we're not doing it the same way. What we're planning to do is we're going to go live across all platforms simultaneously.
And
Instagram,
that's going to be the weigh-in.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all of them at the same time. We're going to go live and then weigh in live, like we've been doing in our groups, but they doing it for everyone to see our journey, what's going on that week. Because you guys have noticed we no longer do celebrations and we don't do that kind of stuff on our show anymore. We've moved that off, so that will be part of that now. We're kind of splitting the weigh-in part from this show because this is more about mindset. Yeah, it's more about trying to get on our journey, not thinking about the weight part of it. It's about feeling good on a Sunday night and starting our week
off without thinking, oh well, I weighed in this week, or
exactly.
I didn't weigh in this week. Oh, I feel good because I feel bad because I had a piece of cake today.
Exactly. So we're trying to make this more of a end of week where we all just get together to get our mindset in order for the following week.
And your refresh, your recharge, your whatever you want to call it. That's what we want our Sunday nights to be.
So again, word of the week is home. So make sure you take a sip of water every time we say the word home, or house. House works as well.
Yeah,
and
house,
corn.
Home, corn, of course.
Yeah, because we picked up corn in Windsor before we came home.
At Elaine's farm, at Elaine's market.
And now we are home now.
We are. My goodness.
Yeah. So we had a kind of a regular week, like regular work week in terms of
work.
Was
a 3-day work week because we only worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then we went to Windsor
from home.
We went to Windsor on Wednesday night, and then we worked from home on I worked from home in Windsor on Thursday and Friday. You guys will be drinking a lot of water tonight. Mm-hmm. So on Thursday and Friday, and we made the best of it. We indulged a lot. Honesty.
Well, of course. But you know what? I still am definitely proud of how we indulged this time, because last time it was just free for all as soon as we walked in the door.
Yeah, we delayed it.
And this time, the Mom's Rice Krispie Square lasted till Saturday night. We did not finish all of it till Saturday.
So proud.
Instead of finishing
right there.
But it's true, because look at the last time we went, we finished it in a day and a half.
Yeah.
And by the time the next 2 days, we were eating everything else. Well, this allowed us to stretch everything out. So we did not even ingest as much as we did last time.
And we also, our meals were a lot more chicken oriented.
Oh, definitely.
They were a lot more, vegetable oriented. So we actually got to balance that way too. And we worked out every single day. We went for
activity.
We went for really long walks. So it's funny because we want to talk about one of the walks that happened. So if anyone in Windsor is watching us right now and you actually were driving down to Tecumseh Road yesterday,
going westbound.
So yesterday we're taking our regular daytime walk. We're walking down the street, and as we're walking down, we see this car drive by, and these two people in the car were going crazy, and they were honking the horn, going like this, and we're like, I think they drove by, so I was like, I didn't see who it was.
No,
like,
so
if
either they know us, either they don't know us. Who knows?
So if you're watching and you see this, and it was me, then send us a message because we'd love to know who was, going crazy down the road.
Or maybe it's people they thought they knew.
Yeah, maybe they thought they knew. It's like, yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
That kind of bursts our bubble.
I'm not trying to
got all
burst
excited
bubble,
about it, but we also got to see Lisa again this weekend.
We did.
She was gracious enough to let us use her home for our step classes.
She was sleeping while we were going back tap.
Yeah, back tap. People. Come on, ladies. She's like, exactly. She was sleeping while we were doing the class with you guys.
But it was fantastic for her to let us do that. There was a little bit more space than in my mom's house, so it was perfect. And what was funny is, she didn't even realize we had just seen her the weekend before. Yeah. She's like, wasn't it 2 weeks ago? We're like,
no, we just saw you. Like literally just said goodbye. You drove away and then we just drove back in.
We came back to see you. So.
And we also got to see your dad.
We did. Yeah. Well, we got to see my dad. We celebrated with my sister and her husband.
Yes, for their wedding anniversary.
Celebrated their 27th wedding anniversary on Friday night. And what was really cool is what do we normally have on Friday, guys? What is our normal
Swiss
typical
chalet.
meal? Swiss chalet, right? We all go to Swiss chalet. Well, we allowed them to pick what meal they wanted for dinner. And we didn't want my mom to cook a dinner and things like that. And they said, why don't we have Lebanese food? And in our minds, I wasn't thinking. And it was amazing.
Yeah, it was really
made us feel like when we'd have our Greek food that we adore so much.
Less sore stomachs.
And it's funny because
Greek food sometimes gives me a sore stomach.
They introduced us to a restaurant that we had tried to go to, I think, twice. And it was called Kebabji. And they have two of them in Windsor. And both times we went, they were closed. So the fact that we were able to have it was like chicken and rice and veggies and like pickled stuff that Nick, of course, did not eat. But I loved it. It was yummy.
I ate the chicken and the rice.
Exactly.
And veggies.
And the side veggies. And the salad. They had fattouche. Fattouche salad was really
I had mine yummy. Caesar. Of course.
Nick had Caesar.
Caesar salad. Caesar salad,
Caesar.
right?
Yeah.
So we also got to see your dad. And we took him out again. We went to a park again.
Yep.
Got some Timmy's. He got to have a donut.
I don't know if you've seen those new donuts with the whipped cream on it, and it's a vanilla cream with chocolate. And he went to town on that donut. Like there was my mom's like, do you want me to bring you another one next time? Yes. So I think that's going to be a regular occurrence for my dad. He's going to
it was fun seeing him. He got to go outside again. He doesn't get to go out much. So having us around.
A car ride, we drove him around the neighborhood and he was like, oh, the houses have changed around here. And we're like,
it's not the same place. But yes, Dad, it is. They've changed completely. It's not the same houses.
He doesn't even realize.
He doesn't realize
the
it.
Same houses. But in his mind, he's just. It's nice. It's good.
But
for him to get out.
we try to make his moment that he is with us as positive and fun as possible, so that at least in the moment that he remembers what's going on, he's happy. Because we know when he gets back to the home, he doesn't remember seeing us. He didn't remember Jean-Luc this time. He remembered me.
Yeah, he remembered Nick, but he didn't remember his own this time. But then when I took my mask off, I said, "Dad, I'm Jean-Luc," and as soon as I said my name, then he's like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are."
Yeah.
So it was just it's
dementia.
It's hit or miss.
That's the way it works, guys, and it's hard if you ever go through it. It's like each time you see the person you know, first of all, they don't remember the recent years. They remember a lot of the past. And when you see them, it's like as though you never see them, because when you see them, they forget it the next time. And so it's like as though if you ask them as so-and-so come and see you, like, no, they never come see me, because to them, they don't see that person, because to them, they don't remember them coming. But even though you may go every single day, they still don't think you're coming, which is a weird experience if you've never gone through it. It's a really, especially for people like us who never gone through before. His dad is the first time we've ever gone through something like this. So it's kind of been a learning experience to go through.
Yeah, and Joyce here, who's in Zoom with us, also knows this very well because her mother also has dementia. And it's but that's why we go in with an open mind, in the sense is let's
make him have the best time possible while we're there.
Yeah.
So don't even try, we don't even try to correct him. We just say, let's go for a walk. Oh, it's changed. Yes, it's changed.
And they even recommend that you don't correct them. No. I mean, a lot of things that I've read about dementia and Alzheimer's is live in their moment.
Yeah.
Allow them to have
Don't make them angry about what's the point of making them angry for that few minutes you're with them?
Or confuse them.
Yeah.
I don't even think it makes them angry. I think it confuses them even more, because in their mind, they have a certain thing that they're thinking. And if you're trying to make them believe something else, they just get just even more
disoriented and confused.
Yeah, even more confused.
So, but we still had a great time. Today has been a crazy day. So we woke up this morning, we grabbed all our groceries. Yeah. We then went to do class at Lisa's. We took a walk, went to class at Lisa's. And then
we did the class at Lisa's. So we get to Lisa's house and she's like, I'm going to be sleeping, but come in the door that's unlocked. So we set up the gym equipment and we're like, let's go for a walk. So we decided we did a 4 or 5 kilometer walk before. And as
we walk a lot.
We walk a lot. As we're walking down the street, a gentleman comes down with a cute dog. Okay. So
no. First of all, let me rephrase this. First of all, for those who join us for a body step, you saw our ensemble today.
Yes.
We were wearing the matching black all in black. We had our purple bandana and our purple gay socks.
I had a gay pride hat.
That's
on.
the scene. So we're walking down the street, the two of us, matching uniforms with the gay socks.
With our names on our shirts.
The names on our shirts.
A body was Jean-Luc and Nick.
And the guy walks up to us with his dog.
The guy walks up with his dog, and I look at his dog, and I'm like, oh my God, your dog is so cute. He goes, the owner is too.
And we're like, yeah. And we kept walking.
Definitely.
Sure. We agreed.
It was really cute the way he said that. It made us both
I told him, like, we're walking down the street. We basically had like a neon sign saying gay, 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 gay. And I'm like, yeah.
It means we're happy.
Yeah, we were very happy on our walk. So, and I guess that's pretty much, we came home. We just literally got home 2 hours ago. We ordered dinner. It's on the stove. We have not eaten yet. We unpacked everything. I'm doing laundry. Jean-Luc's aunt is here. She's actually
hiring her full time to chuck our corn.
She chucked all our corn. You know, when we got home.
From being at my mom's home.
Yeah, in Windsor.
Which used to be my old home as I'm choking on my own water here.
It's called getting hit on, guys. I know we're not used to it.
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I've never. It's still weird for me that happens because it's never happened before in my life. So it's always a weird thing when it happens to us. A video came out yesterday.
Yes.
2 videos came out yesterday. So first one is a body set volume 3.
Learn the moves.
Yeah, the tutorial video,
not the actual
not the class, but the tutorial came out yesterday with the 6 new moves. Our class for Body Step Volume 3 starts this Saturday, September 11th at 10 a.m. The new schedule will be announced this week. Antenna is releasing a new schedule this week.
The new fall schedule. And what's really cool is this week there are 12 members of the class who are joining us for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, for preview week. So they're actually going to be able to preview volume 3 with us to help us out with any instructions or anything like that. So
we held a contest and we've talked about it here during Zoom, and we're doing it again for volume 4. So if you join a body step and you come to class, your name gets put to a draw. And at the end of the volume that we're doing, and we create a new one, the people who get picked get to join us while we practice, because we need to practice. We can't just do the class live the first time. We need to practice, and having people with us makes it a lot better. So 12 people will get to join us. So it's so exciting. Lynn's one of them.
Definitely exciting.
Lynn's here tonight. And she's one of them. Lisa's one of them. And I think Terry Lynn, I know she's here tonight. There's a few people that are Allison, Nicole. There's a whole 12 group of people. If you go onto your body group, you'll see the actual list of winners.
It looked like Saba was trying to get my attention, but he was licking himself.
Could be.
Hi, baby.
You will be someday, Catherine. You will be.
What's that?
She wants to be one of them.
Yeah. Definitely.
So yes, we love our step classes. If you want to try out the tutorial video, just go on YouTube, just look for a body step volume 3 and you'll find it and practice there.
Definitely.
And then we also had a video.
I'm going to warn you all. Practice the straddle step.
Practice straddle step.
Practice
straddle step. Hint.
Practice
straddle step. Especially for those of you coming tomorrow.
Rosie is here. Wow.
And we also had, hi, Rosie. And then we also had a video come out yesterday for Do We Like the Way It Tastes?
Yes, which is the Sensible Portions garden veggie puffs, which we absolutely adore. They remind us of the actual Cheetos that we love so much.
Yes.
But
lower in points.
You get a lot more bang for your buck.
And we actually filmed that video while we were camping. So it's actually something we filmed a few months ago. So you'll see us in our hammock that we talked about for the first time being able to go in a hammock. Well, there's the video of us in a hammock that we said was coming eventually.
And we decided to go to the grocery store today, and we have not pointed anything out, but they were all in the food aisle that we normally order in.
Do we like the way it tastes?
There's going to be 3 new episodes of Do We Like the Way It Tastes coming out.
And we don't know what they're at at all. So we're going to try them all live.
Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm like on Silence of the Lambs. Flava beans. Clarice.
Isn't it Flava?
Yeah, but he always used to say flava beans.
Well,
because he had a list where he had an accent. So to me, it was flava.
So we're going to be trying those on videos. We're filming those tomorrow. We're actually filming a recipe tomorrow as well. The turkey dinner box. You guys remember last year, Cook What You Got? it's coming back in this winter time. Cook what you got. We actually had done a recipe called turkey dinner in a box, where we had taken phyllo dough and put our turkey dinner basically inside your leftovers, and then wrapped it up and baked it. And then we had that for dinner.
Yummy.
And so we're actually going to film that tomorrow and releasing that as well before Canadian Thanksgiving. So you guys will have the recipe before Canadian Thanksgiving and American Thanksgiving. So you guys, if you want to try that. And
it's a great thing to make with your leftovers. Like for us, it's great for dinner because we don't make a whole turkey. But if you have a lot of turkey left and you don't know how to make it. Also, I've also made back in the day, I've made leftover egg rolls, like leftover Thanksgiving egg rolls, which are delicious. You put a little turkey, some stuffing, and then you make a cranberry sauce.
Maybe we should film that. We do have film that one. We have spring rolls in the fridge.
We do.
Maybe we'll film that tomorrow too.
Sounds good. Okay. Well, maybe let's film that one tomorrow too. We have a lot of food to eat already with the box.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so let's get into questions for today. So you guys have been amazing with the questions. Like, I'll say this, you guys, I posted the post earlier this week. There wasn't many. Then today I posted again, and then questions started coming in everywhere today. So thank you all, because we like the question and answer session because it allows us to bring out topics that sometimes we don't think about.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? We think of things we want to talk about. When someone brings up something, oh, we never thought about talking about that. If you have any extra questions for us today, either post it in chat or send Kim a message.
Reach out to Kim.
Kim will actually unmute herself and say, hey.
If we see her.
She'll wave. She'll go like this.
If we let her talk, because you know us.
Exactly. So so we'll start with the first question.
Definitely. So the first question is from traveling afar on
Instagram.
What are your jobs?
Okay, so and I think someone Carmen also asked, how's my job going?
Yes,
and is it what I expected? So I'll answer both at the same time. So Carmen and at Traveling Afar from Instagram. So I went to school for mathematics, IT, computer science. So my background is computer science, and up to 3 months ago, that was all my jobs I did. I was actually doing IT. I did business intelligence. I did software development. I did QA. So that's what my world was. But I recently switched jobs. Can't talk about where I'm working just because that's the way works tells me I'm not allowed to talk about it. But my job is I'm a team lead now. I'm actually a manager, project manager. So I've switched kind of realms of what I'm doing. I realized from doing all this with you all and doing the Power 3 retreats.
He likes to tell people what to do and put them on mute. I mean, he's very good with organizing things.
That's not nice.
I'm just joking, honey. I love you.
I realized I like organizing.
He's very good.
I like figuring out how to take an event or take something and figure out what's the runway and how do we make it work. And so that's my job. That's what I do for a living now. I actually manage a team of people to do specific tasks that need to be done.
I like how someone says you're in the CIA. No, you're a spy.
No, I'm not. No, I believe
he's not that.
Is there a Canadian equivalent? Is it like the Canadian IA? It's Canadian CEH. CIEH. CIA.
CIA?
Yeah, CIA.
And for me, I'm a sign language interpreter.
It's CSIS, apparently.
It's CSIS. Oh, thanks, Rosie. Of course, Rosie would know that, right? Wasn't there a question about? I hope it's.
What do you do?
What do I do? I'm a sign language interpreter. I've been a sign language interpreter now for 21 years. I've been a professional interpreter for 21 years. And it's so funny because as interpreters, we all look at ourselves as jack of all trades, master of none, because we get exposed to so many different parts of individuals' lives, either their work life, their personal lives, because we're in doctors' offices with individuals. We're at religious ceremonies with individuals, So
anything you can do as a hearing person, it means that
a deaf person has the exact same rights.
Exact same rights.
But however, for a huge portion of my career, actually my beginning portion of my career as an interpreter, I traveled with the International Auto Show. So I was a sign language interpreter for Pontiac GMC, and we did tours.
He knows car parts.
Yeah, I know car parts,
but not how to fix them.
Don't ask me how I can interpret about them. I can tell you what they look like.
This is an alternator.
Yeah, that not so much. I know what it is. I know. I can explain what it does.
I'm shocked I knew the word.
So I did that for about 7 years. Then I started working for Video Relay Service, which is a way that deaf people can make phone calls via sign language interpreter. So it's almost like you're speaking to when you're in a one-on-one Zoom room, but you're calling a third person over the phone. And then we interpret the phone calls for the deaf people in their first language. So it's not type, it's not TTY, which the deaf community absolutely adores because they're finally able to have full-fledged conversations with their doctors, with their family members. There's been times where they can order a pizza, like they can I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it out loud. They can do drug deals. Just like any hearing person can pick up the phone and do a drug deal, so can a deaf person.
They can have phone sex.
They can have phone sex. They are allowed to.
Right.
There's some
limitations
as far as what we see, because we're not allowed to see anything, but they're allowed to talk about it and we have to interpret it. And yes, if there is swearing, I have to swear. If they are
bashing gay people,
if they're bashing gay people, I have to interpret. I am not there to put in my own opinion. We are there as a conduit. Well, not even a conduit. We're a facilitator of communication. We're bridging the gap between two individuals. And the one thing I always want people to remember, and this is the one thing I hope people can always remember, is that interpreters are not just there for the deaf person. Interpreters are there for both. Both of you need the interpreter to work with each other. So it's not like a lot of our mindset is only the deaf person needs the interpreter. Sorry, honey, I didn't mean to hit you in the head, but it's not true. Both parties need the interpreter. So we're there to facilitate the communication between the two. I did Sorensen for a while. And then now I've been the staff interpreter for TD Bank, which I'm able to speak about. And
I used to work there.
Yes. And Nick used to work at TD Bank with me, which he no longer works at TD Bank.
It's still an amazing place to work. I do not want to say anything bad. It was an amazing place to work. Just, I needed
and it's
career
a
move.
Very different environment for me now working at TD Bank, because back in the day, I was working with a variety of deaf people. I never really knew all of my, especially in relay, it was a phone call. So first come, first serve, whoever popped up on my screen, that's who I interpreted for. But now I'm working with specific deaf employees who work on a regular basis. So the relationship is very, very, very different.
Exactly.
Very different.
And jack of all trades. Yeah. Master of none.
Jack of all trades, master of none. Yeah. Basically exactly what I am. And what's really weird, most interpreters can attest to this, is you'll be somewhere and someone's going to talk about something, like the example, Nick will say, oh, talk about car parts. And I'll be like, oh, I know some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or we'll talk about theater
plumbing
stuff.
Plumbing.
Oh,
you have to teach a plumbing class.
Interpret a plumbing class.
I was like, can you fix our tub then?
But my biggest passion, and the reason I did become an interpreter, which I did not mention, was because of the theatrics behind it. That's what made me fall in love with it. I was a big person.
He's just theater. A big old ham.
I love being on stage. And for a long time, I am a ham hock. Yeah. But I did a lot of theatrical interpreting, where we did 3 types of theatrical interpreting: platformed, zoned, and shadowed. And so platform interpreters off to the side, zoned, they're somewhere on the stage, and shadowed is we're in full costume on stage, moving around with the actors as they are doing their scenes. So we are interacting with the characters. I'm very handsy today.
He keeps hitting me.
Yeah, we're interacting with the characters, and some of the directors were amazing that made us like integral parts of the performance. And it allowed the deaf community to actually not do the ping pong effect of saying, okay, well, what's being said? Well, I'm missing part of the scene because I have to watch what the interpreter's saying, because we were integrated into the show. Okay, enough about me. I'm done.
Ken, you have a question?
I do. I have a comment and a question. The first is the comment, and that is from Catherine, and she would like to thank you all for the support that you give us.
Oh, thank you, Catherine. Thank you. That's so sweet.
And then the question that we have is from Nisha, and she wants to know, how often do you cook and how often do you eat leftovers?
So I'll say that Jean-Luc cooks every meal. Pretty much. I'm always on the computer posting, doing all that kind of stuff. So Jean-Luc does cook almost every single meal in this house. And
he makes me lunch.
I make lunch. I'm the one that does lunches. But in terms of leftovers, we never have leftovers. And the reason why is because we know ourselves. Leftovers means we'll eat it later.
But it's kind of funny that we don't have leftovers like what people normally do, is like a meal from the night before, but we always have our chicken in the fridge that's already pre-cooked. We have our quinoa that's already pre-cooked.
But when we make a meal, we make enough for just the two of us for that meal.
Yeah.
We don't make any extras because we know ourselves. We are bad at eating. We're bad at for seconds.
And not that, we don't want to eat the same thing twice sometimes. So we're like,
sometimes we do.
Even though we do, but we'd rather make it fresh the day of.
Yeah, the day of.
And what we mean by fresh is the fresher vegetables and things like that. So
Jean-Luc does most of the cooking, and we don't really have leftovers. It's just something that we learned a long time ago, because we used to do a lot of leftovers. We used to always cook a lot of our meals before we were on this journey this time. We used to always make huge meals and then have containers. What would happen though is in the middle of the night, we're like, oh, you hungry? oh, let's warm up another container of pasta. And then we just warm it up and then eat it at night. And we realized that was something that was not good for us. So by removing that second possible helping, we always then went to our snacks instead.
Yeah.
And that's why I remember we talked to you guys about our other trick where we now take meals and split them up throughout the entire night. That kind of came about from that whole idea of what's what we used to do anyways. We used to always, sometimes in the middle of the night, we would literally get up and say, oh, let's make some rice and put some corn in it.
God, so often. Or
Some
pasta.
corn. Or pasta, pasta, which is butter. That would be one of our things we do in the middle of the night. And so we realized that we have a thing about,
I make a lot of home cooked meals.
We're okay. We're very big on, one of the things we had a hard time with nighttime snacking was we would still eat our meals at night. And so we had to learn, that was one of the things we stopped doing by removing leftovers and then not having that extra food around.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but Leslie Coulter actually told me the full told me the full quote, which is a jack of all trades, master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one, which is thank you. That's a really nice quote. That's actually, wow. I never heard the end of that quote before.
No, I only heard the beginning because it's the one you always say.
Yeah, that's the one you always say.
So we have a question from Instagram from Noah's Wellness Journey. Yes, thank you, Nisha. And thank you, Catherine, for the comments. So Noah's Wellness Journey from Instagram says, what do you guys think has been the most difficult part of your wellness journey so far? Good question. Noah is from the States and he follows us and he's actually just reached Lifetime recently himself.
You know what I think the most difficult part is?
Or was. He says was.
But I think the journey.
Say your own. I'll say my own.
Well, I'm not going to talk for you.
I know.
The journey is, there's always different parts of the journey that are difficult depending on where you are in your life, where you are on your mindset. So I can't really pinpoint a specific thing for me that is always the one that's most difficult.
I have one.
But I think what ends up happening is when I struggle with something, it can either be, it's my mindset that brings me always back to a good place. My mindset, if I didn't have my mindset, I would struggle 12 times more on activity and food.
So my most difficult part on my journey so far has been coping with my mental health issues and then trying to stick to going. Because I'll be very blunt here. Sometimes my mental state gets so bad where I say, I don't want to do any of this anymore. I don't even want to do Wellness Warriors. I want to just close everything, close this group, everything. I'm done. Because I get in such a bad state of mind. Sorry, hon. I get such a bad state of mind that it really drives me to that level. Now, mind you, nowadays I don't have as many episodes and it doesn't happen as often, but it still does happen from time to time. And I think for me, that's one of my hardest parts because when those things happen, it usually derails me. It usually derails me in a way. And so if he's strong, he can get me back and we're good together, then, it works. But if he's also struggling, it's like we're done. Well, because if I go downhill, then he's like, I'm downhill too. Then we're both downhill.
He just pointed the most difficult part is when we're not on the same page on things. That is the most difficult part of my journey. When the two of us are on different pages and we're not seeing things, which doesn't happen often because you guys always see us. We pretty much get along 100% of the time, like 99.9% of the time, we agree on most of everything. But when we are having our disagreements on something, that's when it gets difficult.
So you want to take the next question?
Sure. So how did you meet?
From It's Me, Jessia, from Instagram.
So from Instagram. So a lot of you might already know this, but Nick and I met in a Yahoo chat room when there used to be gay chat rooms back in the day in Yahoo Messenger, on Yahoo Messenger or on
Both
Yahoo.
Don't exist anymore.
They do not exist.
We're old.
We still have our very first conversation from when we first
I saved the transcript from our first chat together, so it has the full conversation of how we met. We met online and
been together ever since.
13 years. We randomly found out that my best friend in high school is his second cousin. So I already knew half of his family. I already knew his aunt, who was my best friend's grandmother, because
which is the sister of the aunt that's here.
And so we met online and literally we had one date. I had to go on a business trip, and then he thought I didn't like him. And then when I came back from business trip,
he had just purchased the movie Sex in the City, and he's like, "Do you want to watch it with me?" And we've been together pretty much ever since. We have not been inseparable. We've been together constantly since then. We have a very hard time being apart. Like just the thought of us being apart is like, what? We struggled when we thought I was gonna have to go to the wedding without him, and we
are codependent.
We are very
codependent, and we are very proud to say it.
Well, our friend Elaine was over for dinner, and she's like, "I like being alone sometimes." And to us,
this is alone.
Being alone.
That's alone.
That's alone. Like
not alone.
I can't see myself being alone. I would be bored out of my mind.
Who would I talk to?
Do. Yeah. And we don't even need to talk.
No, honey. We talk a lot. So if you imagine if you're not here, who am I going to talk to? Myself?
Cats. The kitties.
Oh, the cats. Yeah. They don't give suggestions though.
Oh, but he's at
They don't give suggestions when you ask these questions though. So Gwen had a question and she's here tonight. So Gwen asked, what is one place? She had two questions. What is one place in the world you would like to see? And one place you'd like to go back to and why? So I would love to see Australia. Hi, Catherine. Australia has been on my list since I was a child. I've always wanted to go there. It's on our bucket list. We will be going someday. There in New Zealand. It's both on our list. It'll happen. It'll definitely happen. Place to go back for me is Rome. I want to go back to Rome. It was amazing. We did not get to experience the full extent of it, but it was an amazing experience to go there, and I would love to go back. For someone who studied a lot of history and to be present and see the buildings you study about, it was a crazy experience to go through. And do you want to say yours?
Yeah, the place I'd like to visit, like the place I'd like to see in the world, and I know this is going to sound funny and vast, but I'd like to see more of Canada. I feel I have not gotten to see my own country enough. I know Ontario, I know Quebec. I've touched BC, but I've never really gotten to see BC.
We have a dream of driving across the country and doing a body step like in different cities as we drive across the country. We talked about it.
And I think that would be such an experience. Yeah. And I know I'd love to go to the East Coast and go see Anna Green Gables.
I love to go to Newfoundland.
Like there's so many little things that I think that
I would even want to go to Yukon in the summer.
Definitely.
Not winter. There has to be at least some greenery around.
Matilda's inviting us. There's a room ready for us in BC.
Well, we've already realized that
we have a lot of people.
Country. We know if we planned the trip, we'd have places to stay. We already know that. We had. I think it was Heather that said she let us stay in the East Coast with her, and so we have a lot to places we can say come to Winnipeg.
We're definitely gonna come. Well, Jana, that's a given.
That's a given. That's
a given. Hello, my aunt's gonna come say hi.
Come on.
Are you freezing cold out there now? Okay, good. Yay. Say hi to everybody.
They can't hear you because you don't have a microphone, but you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody.
So this is Jean-Luc's
This is my mom's sister, my tante Lise. You're the baby of the family, aren't you? You see, I know she'd like me saying that. She's the youngest out of the family. So
you guys saw her on one of our trips. Actually, she was on our cruise with us last year before COVID hit. So she's going back home. Yeah, she's returning home.
Well, we told her we could to chuck our corn.
Mm-hmm. And she said that
we could send it
to her to celebrate, and she'll ship it back priority after that.
What was really nice too is my mom got to spend a whole month with her sister. They don't get to see each other as often as they'd like. Thank goodness for technology, and she was just they were together for a month, and they just spent an hour on the iPad talking to each other. Isn't it funny? But thank goodness for this technology that we have, because it's allowed families to stay close. Which,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the one thing we have to be thankful for with the whole Zoom and the whole FaceTime and everything.
As frustrating as it can be to have to click a button and call someone.
Think about all our relatives. Like, think about your parents or grandparents back in the day. You know, they lived in Sudbury and the other one lived in London. Like, how would you see each other?
You got a kitty on your neck. That's hilarious.
How would you see each other back then, right? So at least we have this now. I know it's not the same as seeing in person, of course. I believe me, we're both agreeing with that now, because we've
seen people. The energy that you get when you're in a room with people, it's
different.
It's very different, and it's different than it was even prior to COVID.
Yeah,
because the energy when you're in a room with people now is
it's almost like thankful.
Vibrant. Yeah.
It's almost like we're so grateful to be able to see each other because we haven't in so long. And so when you actually see someone in person for the first time, it's like, oh my God, like you're trying to be like, oh my God, you're real.
Yeah.
I can touch you.
It's insane.
I mean,
it is
like
very
seriously.
Insane. And we do love Zoom. And one of the things we said, because of this, I do not call people on the phone anymore. I'm not picking up a phone just to listen to someone's voice. I'm scheduling a time where we're going to video chat because it makes it more real. I can see your eyes. I don't have to assume that you're being happy when I know deep down inside you like eyes tell so much. When you look at someone's eyes, you can see how they're feeling, you know.
And not just that, we love hugging.
Yes.
Like we love to hug. Like, I mean, it's one of the biggest things that we are big. Like growing up, what did your mom used to tell you all the time? Because you always,
oh my God, porte ta peau.
My mom said this,
which
means hold your own skin. And my mom said the same thing to me growing up.
Like, Mom,
we're very like touchy-feely guys. And so, okay, honey, they can hear every time you say mom.
I know.
You might as well say home. But yeah, we are big huggers. So for us to see people in person, that hug feeling is just nothing can surpass it. We love being able to hug. I wanted you to also answer the question. Where do you want to go?
Oh, the place I want to go back to, the place I want to go back to is why can't I think of where we flew to on
Rome?
No, before our cruise, we went to
Barcelona.
I want to go back to Barcelona. I want to go spend a week in Barcelona.
It was so great.
Barcelona, but then you know what?
There's also very good-looking men in Barcelona. So
it was a lot of fun too.
Yeah,
which we didn't get to. There's a lot of places I want to go to. Gwen, that's a really loaded question. I want to go everywhere.
We are big travelers, so for us, it's a dream for us to travel as many places in the world. We'd love to meet different people from different cultures. We just love learning from different places and just seeing the world. We have a planet. We might as well enjoy it and see the most out of it as much as we can, right?
Yep.
So let's do the next question. Do you want to do this one, honey?
Which one?
I'm going to highlight it for you. Give me a second, okay?
Oh.
I'm highlighting it for you.
Yes, that's this one. So Leslie M asked us, have you ever considered having kids? If yes, do you want mine?
And Michelle, I think Michelle in chat also asked us the same question.
I totally missed the do you want mine part when I read that question earlier.
I saw it. That's why I wanted to read it because I knew he missed that earlier.
I love it. So we did.
No, I'll say no.
Yes, but
you can keep them.
Yeah. Yes.
No. You can keep them.
We love other people's children because they go home. That's why we love other people's children. And we're not. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to let people think. We actually had this discussion early on. Nick came up to me after our second date, and he said, "If you are wanting children, or you possibly can think that you might change your mind at some point,
I will never change my mind.
I'm never changing my mind."
So I told him point blank on our second date. I said, "If this is going to keep going, you have to understand, I'm never going to change my mind. So if you want kids, this has to end now. We can't get invested in this because I'm not going to change my mind." And I knew from the get-go, I was a kid, I knew I did not want children. I've known for years. It's something that I was always with when I was younger. And you guys can see our friends, I tend to be around more older people. I was always hanging out with older people when I was younger. I was always the one sitting with the parents, chatting instead of being with the kids. I've just always been an older soul. And so for me, it is never something I wanted or something I felt I needed to do.
I never felt the kids talked about interesting topics enough for me. So I'd like to sit with the adults because I wanted to be part of the discussion.
So no, we're not planning to have kids.
No, but we do love our nieces and nephews, and we've adopted some of our friends' children as our nieces and nephews.
We spoil them. We buy them gifts and do what we can.
And we pump them up with sugar and then send them home. Yay! Go
Yay! We love it.
No, we're not that bad either.
We're not that bad. But we try to make sure to be there for our nieces and nephews and make sure that they feel appreciated. We always make sure to talk to them as much as we can. Our niece and nephew they still remember to this day. I used to play this with the iPad with them when they were little babies. I used to do this. And then bring my head in different locations. And to this day, they remember that I've always done that for them. And so they still do it with me, even though they're 9 and 7 now. And it's just a bond we have with them is just, we know that we're looking out for them. They're our children in some kind of sense. They're not our children that we take care of all the time, but we consider them as we will always help them in any way they need.
And it's funny because we do have the fur babies, of course, which we're going to be getting to more at some point eventually, hopefully at some point, but we're not sure when yet. And Nick is Mononc, which is Uncle Nick, and I am Tanti, which means auntie, really, in French, Tanti. So it's so cool that I love that Nick's sister allowed me to create a different name for me.
Well, you want to talk? You didn't think you were gonna?
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna ever be an uncle because my sister and her husband don't have children. But but at that point, I didn't think, And then I never thought, and I will be honest, This is
another thing about adoption right here.
Yeah, I never thought that I would feel so close to two kids that
we're not blood
we're
related.
not blood, and these kids are mine. Like honestly, Antoine and Ed, like these
And I think
little ones are just
that's the whole adoption thing, right? It's not it doesn't matter where the child comes from. It's as long as you love them and as long as you appreciate them. That's what the bond is. That's what a parent is. It's about raising a child and loving them unconditionally and letting them be who they want to be.
Someone had made a quote once, and they said there are fathers and there are dads, and not everybody can be a dad, but everybody can be a father. And that really stuck in me, saying, yeah, I guess so. You know what? Anybody can be a father, like potentially.
Almost.
And same with mothers, you know what I mean? Same thing with mom and mom. So, but thank you.
So the next question is a very deep question. So someone asked us, on Canada Connect, ask us, any advice for supporting an overweight preteen without creating shame and self-consciousness? And this is a very deep question because society, it's very hard to talk to someone who is not ready for a change. And then the way I say that is, we'll give you an example of a story. When I was losing my weight, I was going to the gym all the time, every morning. And there was a gentleman at the gym that I saw every day. And I saw that he was almost exactly what I used to look like at the beginning of my journey. And I was almost at the end where I was about 10 pounds from goal. So I was working out beside him a lot. And I kept telling him, I want to walk up to him and say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. The thing is, sometimes that's not the right approach.
And that's not what I told him to do. I said, hun, what you should do is maybe start working out beside him. Befriend him. Don't go up to him and say, oh, by the way, it looks like you need to lose some weight and you're doing a good job. But no, that's not how you work. Who's gonna take that kind of advice? But if you go up to someone and you start befriending them and saying, hey, I see you here often. Let's get to know each other. Let's talk.
So for this specific question, the same thing applies. You don't want to go up to that person and say, you need to lose weight. But you want to go up to them and say, do you want to go for a walk with me?
And my thing is lead by example. That's exactly what I was going to say. Lead by example. If you want someone to make better choices, make sure that they're seeing you making those choices as well.
It's very hard. And speaking as two guys that were teenagers that were overweight, someone would have came up to me back in the day, said something I wouldn't.
Even today as an adult.
Yeah.
When comments are made, and it happened this weekend to myself, and none of the comments were done maliciously. They weren't, but because they were made, my brain went to a bad spot. How they were made, when they were being talked about. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm now 100 pounds thinner and I'm still feeling fat. Like, that's where my head went. So make sure when you are speaking to whomever you want to support, make sure you're speaking to them with love and kindness, and making sure that you're able to articulate what you're trying to say without making them feel bad. Because as soon as you make them feel bad,
it's a very tight line.
Yeah.
So you have to support, you have to give suggestions, but you have to make sure the suggestions are not like advice. And I know that's weird to say. The suggestions almost have to be that you want to do this. Do you want to join me? Or I want to change this about me. Do you want to come and do this with me? And so this way the person doesn't feel like it's me that's being targeted. It's, oh, they want to do this and I might as well join them.
Like a reverse psychology.
Yeah, it's almost like reverse psychology. Like using the fact that you want to do something might entice them to try to do it with you. And that's kind of the way with us. That kind of works for us.
And I think being honest at some point, saying, you know what, I struggled with weight, or, making sure that it's relatable, that you can say, I've had issues with certain things, or I know people who've had issues, making sure that they know that the conversation can be open to them.
Yeah.
But let them lead it.
Yeah. It's a very tough thing to do, because again, you don't want to body shame someone, because there's people out there that are very healthy. They're not like super thin, but they're super healthy people. They're active. They still do something. They still eat healthy, and their body type is just the way they are. So you can't use, societal like norms of saying you're not thin, you're not paper thin, you don't look at the models on, like, you can't use that kind of talk with everyone. You have to be more supportive in terms of you want to change stuff and see if others want to join you on this journey. And that's kind of what we do with everybody that follows us, because we don't overly come out to you guys and say, you should do this. We say, this is what we're doing. And then somebody goes, oh, they're doing that. I should try that. It's the same kind of psychology with all of you. We don't tell you guys what to do. We just say what we do, and then you guys grab on things that you guys want to try. The same pattern applies with people in your regular life. If you say, I'm doing this, and they're seeing changes in you, you're happier, you're looking great, you're feeling amazing. I bet you some of you, and I think Arlene, Arlene on the thing. Her sisters are prime examples of that because they saw how well and how happy she was getting, how much success she was seeing. So they started asking her, so what are you doing? And so then they started changing their life based on what they saw she was doing. She didn't tell them, you need to do this. She said, I'm doing this, I'm feeling great. And they're seeing the changes and they're like, oh my God, I want to do this because she feels amazing.
And that's, again, leading by example. But also, I think when it comes to preteens and teens is making sure that
they feel loved. And
that maybe a lot of times this, and I'm going to throw it out there because we say it, at that teenage years, your hormones are running up a storm. Your brain is going into so million directions. You're questioning so many things about yourself, about your sexuality, about your beliefs, about so many things. So making sure that you're providing them with a great mindset. Mindset, again, is huge.
Make them love themselves. Encourage them.
Yeah.
Teach them at that age to be their biggest cheerleader. Teach them to always think of the positive outcomes of things instead of looking at the negatives. Yeah. It's a very important tool. If I would have learned that at that age,
oh my goodness,
oh my God, my life would have been changed.
Completely different.
Oh,
yeah. I completely agree with that.
So I just love that question. And I love getting questions like this. And that's why we love this question and answer session, because we never gotten this question before. It's the first time someone's asked us this in 3 years. And so we just love, I keep sending these questions, guys. You want to do the next one?
Yes. So which one are you going
ABC,
to?
1, 2, 3, taken.
ABC, yes. So do you consider yourselves enablers or supporters of each other?
Complete supporters.
I think we're both a little bit of both to each other. We enable each other and we support each other.
Yeah. So if I would just say, Jean-Luc, you want to go buy some chips after this show tonight? No, you probably say yes.
No, I already bought some.
Oh, okay. He already bought some
sweet potato chips from Freshie.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought, but you said earlier you would go downstairs and get some.
No, I was getting pop. I was not getting chips. I did not say chips.
Soda for American friends.
I was getting us a bottle of Coke Zero.
We are both supporters and enablers.
Yeah, we're both. I think a lot of people are. It depends on the moment. It depends on your feelings. It depends on your mindset.
So we are definitely enablers because if I will suggest something, most of the time he'll agree. Vice versa. If one of us wants pizza, the other one will just say sure. Again, because you know why? Saying no sometimes is not the right answer because the person sometimes needs that at that moment, and that's what's going to help them. So I always say I might as well be there for him and say, yes, let's have this food, and vice versa with me. But I'm also supporting him throughout that time, or he's supporting me. So even though we're enabling each other to have that extra snack or have that extra food, he's still there beside me saying, you're having this right now, but tomorrow we're going back on track. Tomorrow we're going to be back to our regular meals. And that's where the support comes in, right? It's not about just throwing in a towel. It's about, yes, something's happening right now. I'm going to support you. You want to have this. I'm going to enable you to have this food. But tomorrow I'm going to support you even more because we're going to go right back to program and do right back the things that work for us. So that's how I think we do both sides of the equation.
I agree with that 100%.
100%. You have nothing else to add?
No, nothing else to add.
Wow. I explained it correctly?
Well, I don't know about correctly, but you explained it.
You're so mean. You're so mean.
It's so true though. But like I said earlier, we're both a little bit of both. Yeah. We support each other 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're human and we admit to that full-heartendly. We try our best and we do what we can.
We always
at that moment.
We always push each other for if anything's happening for one of us, we'll support each other along the way. Like Jean-Luc switching jobs. Like when he was working at one of his jobs in the past, he was very unhappy, but he knew that if he left that position, he would lose benefits. He would lose, a bunch of stuff because he would have to go part-time at the job that he was at. And so I supported him through that, even though we knew
I was also told that I would not even be able to go part-time, that I would have to leave completely.
Yeah, but I supported him. Yeah. He was very unhappy.
I was wanting to become a waiter. I wanted to go back to serving tables.
Jean-Luc would wake up every day before work and throw up. That's how unhappy he was at that job. And so, in that position, not that job, in the position, not the company. And so when he decided, I was like, of course I'm going to support you. You're not helping yourself by being sick every day. And so I knew that he had to change, and it worked out in the end. It was definitely a leap we took a jump of something that an unknown. We do this all the time. We jump all the time and do things that we're not comfortable with. But sometimes you have to be comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable.
You have to give yourself some risks sometimes. Not like I will jump out of a plane daily for the next 2 months. No. I'm sorry. That's being way too risky.
Some people might.
You know, instructors. You know, the ones that actually do that for a living. You know, maybe they jump out of a plane daily, but not for me. You want to do so the next person sent us 3 questions.
There's a bunch of questions here. So the first question is for Nick, which is Rose Lee. She's like, are you ready? I have a few of them. The first one is, Nick, you don't like chocolate. Do you like caramel?
Yes, but story, I didn't as a child. Why? Because caramel always came with chocolate. So I assumed caramel was chocolate. And it wasn't until I met this guy.
Thank you very much.
That I realized that caramel is just like butterscotch. They're almost similar.
Yes and no, but yes.
But I love butterscotch. I always had it growing up, but I never had caramel.
The only thing with Nick, if there's too much caramel,
it's too strong.
It tastes like coffee to him.
Yeah, and it has
there's that burnt taste that he does not like.
One time we went to Starbucks and they, instead of doing they blended my frappuccino and I could not drink it. It was done. Ugh. It was just too much.
Threw out a frappuccino.
I threw out a frappuccino.
And I did not drink it. I was very proud of myself on that.
NSV. Because back in the day, I would have finished it.
He loves salted caramel. We both do.
I do love salted caramel.
One of my favorites. And then on the next question for that was, on your profile on Connect, how can you change your name that appears on the top of all your posts?
So if you click on your little image in the top right corner, you then can click on your name and then you can actually change your name from right there. So if anyone's ever wondered how to change your name on Connect, because we had changed it
and there was a little additional thing that you do not lose all of your history. You can change your name without losing
the only thing you lose is if people have tagged you in the past using your old name, you will not be able to find it anymore. So all our old, like I used to be Nikki Poo 999 on Connect. So if I look that name up, it has my post from years ago, but I can't see that if anybody tags me with that now, I won't see it anymore.
Enjoy the Dairy Queen, Arlene. She's going to Dairy Queen. Woo woo! Part of the 20%. Woo woo!
So we got it. So you want to do the last question and we have one in chat after?
Oh, we were not 100% totally honest about this weekend.
What?
We did something on Saturday night.
What did we do?
Or on Friday night with Lisa.
What did we do?
Really late.
Oh, we ordered McDonald's.
We had McDonald's, people.
Nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
And ice cream.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all we had.
That's all we had.
And
we were supposed to have apple pie. They forgot the apple pie because we wanted to do the TikTok thing where you break a McDonald's apple pie into a caramel sundae. Are you pregnant?
Maybe.
No. That's what happened. But
did we track? No.
I wanted to be honest because I totally forgot about that.
No, we didn't track. No.
So the other question is, great video on budgeting. You made. If I
you want me to read that?
Yes, please.
If I take advantage of W special offers, do I have to make a new Connect profile, therefore losing all my posts, or does it? No, you do not. No. So again, if you go and if we start answering these questions, other people might have them. So no, if you have left WW or if don't have an active membership and you come back, you can get your old account back with all your history, everything you have. Because we have left. We left. So we were joined our first time May 2011. So we have all our weigh-ins from that, but then we left WW for about a year. And then when we came back, we just got our old accounts in the same email. And then we got everything, our history still there from the beginning of our journey. So we have our full history from the beginning itself. It's Spencer saying McDonald's nuggets are great. They were delicious.
It's the only thing we would eat at McDonald's.
Yeah,
I can't eat their burgers. We split
fries,
a large French fry between the three of us.
Exactly. So thank you for the questions, Rose. And hopefully we answered them for you correctly and that you don't have any other outstanding questions.
Oh, Leslie just added to that. You can either restart your whole WW account with a fresh one, or you can continue from where you left off.
I could never start back. I need my history.
No, I want my
I'm a history buff. I like knowing what happened in the past. So we had a question in chat that I wanted to actually touch upon before we go to the next one that we got sent in. So the question we got was, what do you consider to be your best NSV ever? And I know mine. Mine's mine that I've talked about before, so I can share it again. Want me to share mine while you think?
Go for it.
Mine is the car one. So I've talked about this in the past. When I used to sit in our old Toyota Highlander, we have 2 automatic settings, 1 and 2 for Jean-Luc has very long legs. I have a very tall torso, very short legs. And so when I used to sit in the car, before I lost my weight, when I would press number 2, it would actually squeeze me into steering wheel very hard and then slowly go back. So I would get sandwiched and it was very uncomfortable. It hurt, actually. I hated it. And so that was one of my biggest pet peeves. When that stopped happening, it was one of my biggest NSVs. And to this day, I always point it out when I get in the car. I still comment about it sometimes. I still press the button. I'm like, I'm not touching the steering wheel. It's one day I think that's just the car will be like, really? Let's watch this. And it'll be like, no! I was like slowly in slow-mo approaching the steering wheel. Right?
Don't get too close to me.
What's wrong with me?
You're getting too close. So I know what my NSV is.
What is it?
I figured it out, and you're going to be really shocked when I say this, but then you won't be.
I'm not going to be shocked.
About you will. You guys, it's something that you probably never thought I would say. Pictures. Pictures for me. I hated pictures of myself for the longest time, even
during
my journey, especially during my journey, even more so. From my beginning to my 80 pounds, I was whatever. We took some pictures, but there wasn't many.
Every picture I took of him, I
did not want him posting it. I complained. I was like, I can't believe you're going to.
I had to take another picture.
We had to retake pictures over and over again. I no longer do that anymore.
I don't even ask anymore. Nope. I just take the picture and I post it. Because
once in a blue moon, I'll be like, okay, my face was like this.
Because I'm like,
okay, can we change that?
Because I'm like, hon, you look hot in this. I think you're hot, so I'm posting it. So I don't care what you think. I don't care what you think. I like it. It's going up. Like, and I don't pick point like this. I don't do one.
When he's posted some terrible
I'm never
joking. He never has.
I don't do that.
But you know what? I think it's when I say that NSV is the picture thing, is being less critical about myself.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge thing for me. And and it happens on a lot of little things, but for this, it's the picture thing. I used to remember Nick we'd have to take 7 or 8 pictures before I'd go, okay, you can post that one. That's the only one.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
and whatever. I had a much easier time because I was okay with my face as I lost weight. I was taking selfies like I was a 12-year-old girl. I was like, ching, ching, ching. Every day I was taking selfies. He got so annoyed with me. I've stopped doing that. I don't take as many anymore. I've actually slowed down because now I'm used to my face. But again, if you've been overweight your entire life and all you've seen is the bigger face your entire life, you get an identity crisis eventually where the person you're seeing in the mirror is not who you're expecting to see. And so for me, it was more of I can't believe this is me. I can't believe this is actually, I was trying to register that person in the picture I was taking that was actually me looking back at me because I couldn't believe it was me.
And he was lucky he was going through that because in my head was, oh my God, what did I do? I looked better when I was bigger.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you
two different
where your brain can be on different parts of your journey. I should have been celebrating that I had lost 80 pounds. I should have been celebrating that I was being active. I should have been celebrating that I was doing so many other things. And it was, no, the picture is bad. I can't believe I have a bad picture of myself, it's sad, but I don't feel that way anymore. And there could be bad pictures out there of me. I don't care about it anymore. That's the NSV. And
Lynn, you look amazing. So don't be worried about pictures of you. Okay.
I'm not going to let a picture dictate how I feel and who I am as a person.
No, it doesn't change who you are inside. You know, what's funny is I always tell him because for the longest time, always said, and I'll say it. He says, I'm ugly.
No, I said it.
And I would tell him, I was like, okay, you think you're ugly. That means you're saying that my opinion is terrible.
He has bad taste.
You're saying that I have bad taste because I don't think you're ugly. I'm attracted to you. I married you. So you're saying that I have bad taste. It's like, and he's like, well, most people, I don't look like the models. I'm like, do I look like the models? Do 90%, 95% of the world out there look like the models? No, but people love different people. You can't expect everyone to love you, but someone will think you're attractive. Someone will love you, and someone will be your person out there for you.
And it's so funny that you say that because we talked to a friend just recently prior to COVID, and this person that we talked to used to be very fit, very athletic, very this.
Yes.
Met someone, was together for a few years and started gaining some weight, not being as fit as they were and blah, blah, blah. And they split up. And when they split up, they're like, oh, well, no one's going to like me anymore. My partner didn't like me and now I'm bigger. No one's going to like me. But then when people were still approaching this person, they went, wow, people still find me attractive.
See, we all believe that we have to look like the models or the magazine cover people to be loved, but that's not what love is. Love is the person inside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you really love someone, you'll want to be with them 24/7. And it doesn't matter what the outer shell, even though I do love the outer shell. Like I won't deny that I love the outer shell. But what I'm saying is that the outer shell is not always the most important part of the relationship. And that's one of the things that we have from the get-go. Because remember, we met big guys. We didn't meet looking, like we do now.
We literally, this is how we used to
hug, right? Like we used to hug like this. There's pictures, proof of it.
Well, no, it's probably more like this.
Yeah,
it's probably more like
but that's the thing. You still deserve to be loved. There is still people out there who love you for who you are. So make sure you never feel that you're ugly. Feel that you're not worthy of the love out there. You are worthy of it. We all are. There always is that lobster, your soulmate out there that will find you and that will make you feel loved and be the person you want to be. So I just make sure you don't forget that.
So let's answer this last question before we wrap up for the night.
I know.
It's already 8 o'clock.
I know.
Nick never
I hope I make you cry, Sarah, because you're all beautiful people. You should know that you are. You should know that you're amazing. You should know that you look amazing no matter what anybody else says.
And you know what? Another big NSV, I said it, was when I was finally able to say, I love me. I love me. I
remember that. Love yourself,
love
okay?
myself.
Love the Lobster reference. Friends, of course.
Yes.
Big Friends fans.
Lobsters.
So the last question that we'll take tonight is
How
from...
do you know how many points you have?
From Jocelyn53 on Instagram.
For your snacks if you don't track. We don't.
We do track. So I think that the people don't seem to understand. We track when we want to track. Some days we don't. Some days we do. On days we track our snacks. We track everything on days we track. On the days we don't, we just eat the kitchen fridge, and then the kitchen fridge. What? Kitchen fridge. Sink?
Normally it's the kitchen sink, but the kitchen fridge makes more sense.
It makes more sense in this situation. But that's the way it is. We do track. Like when we're fully tracking, we track every piece of food in our mouth, every sauce, everything we do is tracked. What happens is that we're not good trackers. We know we aren't. It's the first thing people always tell us. When I'm struggling, I stop going to the gym. That's the first thing that goes for me. Whenever I'm start struggling, I just stop going to the gym, and I just, I can still do my tracking and do all my food, but I can't go to the gym. When we struggle, we can go to the gym every single day. We can work out no matter what, rain, shine. We love being active, but tracking is hard for us. And that's why we say it's the first thing that always goes, and why we do track though. We do track.
We do.
So thank you so much for all the questions.
Love them. They were awesome. So much fun to answer those
Everyone
questions.
hands up and
keep your hands up.
Keep your hands up. We'll talk to you after the session is done. We have done the last few weeks. Just a few updates. So I'll set up our thing if you want to talk about this stuff.
So next thing, just remember, we are coming back with volume 2 this week for a body step
on Thursday
the 9th at 6:30. And then we start volume 3 on Saturday. Woo, woo.
Volume 3.
So if you haven't yet tried out a class, please reach out. We can send you a complimentary class so that you can see. We do we require you to have an actual stepper.
Yes.
It just makes it much easier for the class. And then also, we have a new video coming out on September 11th, also Saturday, which is
the Forever Method.
Finally, we came out with a Forever Method video, so you'll actually be able to hear about it and know what our Forever Method video, what we mean by our Forever Method mantra video.
Yes. You're not making any sense right now.
Making any sense.
So there's a video coming out next Saturday about the Forever Method. So you can watch it. It'll be out at 7 p.m. next Saturday. And then we also have on September 18th, there's going to be a new recipe for samosas coming out. And then on September 25th, Nisha is our guest. No, our interview comes out. And then she'll be our guest on October 2nd on our campfire chat, because this is the last beachside chat.
It's getting cold. I need a fire.
The beach is going away. Oh, son of a beach.
Son of a beach.
So the beach is going away because
I was still going to add another part to that, but it wouldn't have been nice in French.
So next week we're going to be doing campfire chat. So we're going to switch it up. We're going to get a little more cold. We'll wear a sweater. Probably not, because it'll still be hot. But yeah, we're going to change it up to campfire chat. Same format. We love this new format. We love being able to take your questions. So we'll be doing the exact same thing. So if you guys have any questions throughout the week you want to ask us, or something came up, you're like, oh, I want to ask them this, send us a message. Send us an email. Just send me a message randomly. Say, hey, can you talk about this next weekend? We love getting your feedback, because this is how you guys make our show the best event possible.
Definitely. I hope you guys have a fantastic long weekend. Enjoy if those of you who have tomorrow off, hopefully you enjoy it. We will be busy filming videos, and we will see you guys next Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern time, same channel, same place. We will see you then. And you can also see on the screen all of our social media links and information if you guys want to find us. We will see you next week.
Bye. Everybody. Facebook.